I'm 20 years old and 2 years ago I started an Airbnb business. Now I'm making $50,000 a month in revenue. I basically went from zero to $50,000 a month in revenue in 2 years. Limited money, limited credit, limited experience. Just the whole point of this video is me showing you how to start an Airbnb business in 2025, if I was able to start all over again, if I had to start all over again, this is exactly what I would do to get to 50K a month, or even more than 50K a month, depending on your resources and depending on the funds and accessibility that you have right now. Those of you who don't know me, I'm John Aziz. I went from 0 to 50K a month in 2 years with Airbnb. I'm an all-around entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. I know a lot of different things and different avenues. I'm known for my Airbnb business, right? And I also always tell people, when you have questions, always follow me. DM me on Instagram at John Aziz. I answer any and all questions. I'm gonna give so much free game on this video. It's gonna be absolutely crazy. So make sure you watch the entirety of the video. Take notes if you have to, because this is the type of shit people charge money for. So I'm giving it to you right here as requested in a lot of videos. People ask me, can you give me some free information? How do I start, scale, and automate my Airbnb business? Well, I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do that in 2025. So the first thing I'm gonna tell you is that once you take the information, you need to apply it, because just like anything, if you're in school and you take the information, someone teaches you what's on the test and you don't take it and you don't study it, then you're not going to do good on the test. The same thing applies for business. Someone mentors you, someone gives you information, and you take the information and you don't do anything with it, then that's on you. That's not on the person that teaches you, because the person that teaches you cannot hold your hand through the entire process, because you are your own person. You are a human, so you need to do what you need to do for it yourself. This is how anyone can start this business. I have a mentee that's 16 years old. 16 years old, he got his first property. How did he do that? From the beginning, he was like, oh, how do I get my first property? How do I even sign a lease? I'm not even allowed to do that. I said, hey, found a solution, got him an LLC with his mom. Boom, there we go. They signed on a property. They started an Airbnb with my guidance. Now he's cash flowing at 16 years old. So you don't have any fucking excuse after watching this video not to start your own Airbnb business, because anyone can do it. If I could do it and I had a 3.0 GPA in high school and I didn't try and I cheated on every single test and I didn't give my effort towards anything, then you sure as hell can do it. So the first step is understanding what Airbnb arbitrage is. Simple. You find a property for rent, you ask the owner if you can run it as an Airbnb. After you do that, then you furnish the property. After you furnish the property, you put on Airbnb, and then you keep the profit. Let's say it makes $5,000 on Airbnb, and your revenue or your expenses are $3,000 a month. You do 3 minus 5, that leaves you with $2,000. So then you're cash flowing $2,000 on Airbnb. So once you understand what Airbnb arbitrage is, the first step you're gonna take is research a market. So researching a market consists of looking at Airbnbs in that market, see what's good about that market. Is the place that you're looking at, do they have NFL teams? Do they have a college campus? Do they have sports games? Do they have concerts? Do they have arenas? Do they have a nice downtown? What is going on and what's going to drive traffic to these areas? That's step number one. Step number two, during you finding an area, you looking at an area to invest in, you're gonna have to look at if there's regulations. Are there regulations? Are there short-term rental regulations? What is the city doing to prevent Airbnbs from happening? And you need to look into that before you even start looking for properties, because let's say they have regulations and you can't bypass them. You find a property, you lock it in, you furnish it, you spend your money on it. Now you're fucked, because you can't even list it on Airbnb. So you're stuck in a lease, you're stuck with all this furniture, and you're stuck with all this credit card debt that you got into because you didn't do your due diligence when finding an area. So you're gonna wanna find a profitable area. One thing I do to personally compete and look at my competition in the area, I'll go on Airbnb, I'll search the area, I'll look at how much money they're booked for during the month, what is the average money that they charge every single day, and then I'll try to match that, and then I'll see, does this make sense? If this person is making $4,000 a month and this house that I'm looking at in the same area that could be the same thing is for $2,000 a month in rent, then it could end up working for me to run an Airbnb in. And that's the first part. You need to do market research to see if you can actually start investing in the area. And once you're past that part, you're gonna move on to step number two. Step number two is deciding if you wanna do arbitrage or management. Management is where you go to owners and you set up the property with their money and you do absolutely everything from A to Z, from start to finish. And what you do is you take a revenue share instead of you taking profits after expenses. With arbitrage, you find a property, you rent it, you take care of everything financially, and then you keep the profit. Arbitrage could be more profitable. You also are spending more money with startup, but the thing is, when you're starting this business, you want to get started with arbitrage because that's the only way you're going to learn. And then once you learn, then you can pitch your management to the owner, so then you can start managing units instead of doing arbitrage all the time. But I personally, that's my bread and butter. Arbitrage is very good. I also manage units as well because I'm very professional. I know everything I'm doing and I have systemized in order for owners to trust me to help them make more money on their property. So that's step number 2, is deciding between arbitrage and management. But you need to go arbitrage first, then build your portfolio, build your money up, and then expand into management. Step number 3 is finding and setting up your units. So you might ask, how do you find units? This is a very important question. John, how do you find units? How do you find leads? So this is what I do. This is free fucking game right now. You need to listen because I'm giving you free game and people pay thousands of dollars for what I'm telling you right now. So when you're looking for a property, I'm gonna give you a couple websites, right? Apartments.com, Zillow. What I personally did is I made a Google sheet. I say the property name, property owner's name, the number, email, bedroom, bath count, also put the amount that they're asking for. I put this all on the Google sheet, boom, 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 boom. I look for a specific area, I collect all this information. After I collect this information, I later decide on a time I wanna do cold calls. Then I hop on these cold calls, listen right now. When I'm on these cold calls, what I say is, hi, I'm John, I'm from blah, blah, blah properties. I own a corporate housing company. I'm looking for more properties to sign on. And they're saying, hey, what do you mean you're looking for more properties to sign on? What do you necessarily do? So I look for homeowners just like you that are looking to rent their properties on Zillow, looking to rent their property on Apartment.com, and I'm going to rent the property from you and then run it as an Airbnb. They're like, no. I heard a bad stigma about Airbnb. I don't want to do that. Then I'm going to tell them, hey, I'm the best tenant you're ever going to have. How are you going to be the best tenant I'm ever going to have? I've only heard bad things about Airbnb. Well, I host professional stays. I do background checks on my guests. I also do cleaning after every single time someone comes in and out of the property. And after they come out of the property, I have an inspection with my maintenance crew. And I also have security. I have Ring doorbells and decibel detectors inside of the Airbnb to make sure everything's well kept. And I have a virtual assistant that's also staying on target and checking these cameras to make sure everything is staying on target and nothing's being damaged. And let's say something was to be damaged, we'll have in our contract that I will pay for it out of my pocket. Anything damaged by me or my guests will be paid out of my pocket. Boom. Now you just convinced the owner. The owner thinks, hey, this person's professional, this person has a business, this person knows exactly what the fuck they are talking about. I want to rent the property to them. Something I also tell them is that I'm willing to sign a 12 to 24 month lease, and I also am always planning to extend. Because with this business, I'm putting a lot of upfront money into this business, so I want it to work as much as you do. And if I host bad stays, I'll have bad reviews, and I have bad reviews, then I don't have business. And that's why I'm going to take care of your property, and that's why you're going to be very satisfied with me while getting your money passively every single month and making sure your property stays well kept. Because when it stays with me, it is exactly like a hotel stay. So everything is well kept, everything is clean, and everything is tidy. So I just told you so much fucking game right there. So much game. No one gives that shit out for free. So that's what you're gonna do when you're looking for a property. And after you find a property, you're gonna sign a lease. You're gonna make a lease addendum to make sure you stay protected. You're gonna sign it under your LLC. After you sign it under your LLC, what you are going to do, now you're gonna furnish the property. So with my mentorship students, I have all the digital files for them. I have a furniture sheet, so every single thing is broken down into row. There's the furniture, there's the price, there's the quantity, and then it multiplies the price into the quantity, and it gives you the total price. The total price multiplies by the sales tax, gives you the price with the sales tax, and also gives you a price with labor included, and gives you the total price with everything added together. So I have all these for my mentorship students through the digital files, but if you choose to do this on your own without a mentor, you can create your own furniture sheet. And I do the furniture sheet so I can track my expenses, know exactly how much money I'm going to be spending on this unit. So after I get all the furniture, I order it. What I personally do is I hire a handyman weekend, I hire furniture builders to go out and do every single thing, because when I sign that lease, I want to start the property as fast as humanly possible, so then I can make as much money as possible, because every single day burned setting up the property is revenue loss, because as soon as I have the property on Airbnb, I will start getting bookings and I will start making money. And keep in mind, I have a lot of negotiation tactics that I talk to about with my mentorship students that they know about whenever you are going to sign a lease on a property. I negotiate a lot of things, including rent, safety deposits, and free months during slow season. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4 free months depending on how many units you are signing. So make sure you're negotiating as well. And after you're done setting up the units and the furniture, then you're gonna set up the listing on Airbnb. This is the key fucking factor. This is why I went into this business, because it can be fully automated. I love automations because automations make you money for doing the least amount of work. Let me tell you about some automations I have included into my business. Number one, cleaners. I have the cleaners on the software. The software sends a notification every time there's a clean, so I don't even have to contact them. They know exactly when to go to the clean. Number two, I have virtual assistants. These virtual assistants take care of guest communication every single day. So every time there's a guest inquiry, every time there's anything that needs to be done, anytime there's outstanding tasks, the virtual assistant does it for me at a fraction of the cost because I've hired them overseas. Number three, security is automated. I have Ring cameras that will detect their smart locks at my units to make sure everything is well kept and tidy to a certain extent. Number four, I have property management system. Property management system is the key factor of my business to make sure everything is well kept onto a platform. So this changes the locks all the time. This sends automated messaging. Automated messaging is perfect because whenever a guest books a property, sends a message. Whenever a guest is about to check in, it sends them the check-in message. Whenever a guest is about to check out, sends them the checkout message. All of these things are automated inside of my business to make sure everything is moving fluently and I don't need to put time into my business. The way I'm able to scale as many properties as I do, because I have automations, I have people doing work for me, and I keep delegating work in and out of my business. You might ask, John, you make $50,000 a month? Well, I didn't get here from doing all the work by myself. Here's the key thing that I'm going to teach you. You want to start working on your business versus working in your business. Working in your business, that means, for my specific business, that means I'm doing cleans, I'm doing handiwork, I'm doing guest communication. That's working in my business. Working on my business, which is what I'm doing right now, that means I'm looking for more leads. I'm having my virtual assistant do more leads. I'm having team meetings, having people do what I'm supposed to do because they're hired out to do it. So that saves me my time. So now I have time to work on the business and do revenue-driven tasks. So things that are gonna bring in more revenue to the business rather than things that are not really gonna do anything for me, like talking back and forth with the guests and wasting my time. But first, we need to understand when you're starting the business, you're gonna start small and then you're eventually gonna start automating things over time depending on your budget. I gave so much free game in this video. If you liked exactly what you're hearing, then I want you to give me a sub. Go to my Instagram. I answer any and all questions in the DM. I always answer with a voice memo, or I always answer with a text, and all my subscribers know that. Comment if you fucked with this video. Comment what you want to see more from this channel, what you want to learn. Something I didn't cover is credit. So you can pull out credit cards 12 months, 15 months, 24 months, 0 APR. That means, let's say they give you a $10,000 limit. 0 APR means, let's say they give you a $10,000 limit and 24 months to pay it back. So basically, you get that $10,000 limit, you have 24 months to pay it back with 0% interest. That money, that $10,000, you can use to set up 2 Airbnbs. So then you don't have to use your own money to start this business. So that's how you can start the business with limited funds, is by using these 0 APR credit cards. And this is something that I teach heavily in my mentorship, at how to leverage your credit. I also have a friend that hops in the weekly calls, and he also tells people how to help with the credit, how he can help fix their credit, and how to increase their credit. So I'm providing a whole bunch of value to my students. So if you would be interested in coaching from me, I have a link in the bio to my WAP. Also hit me up on Instagram if you want to talk further, ask me any questions. Also, you can ask me questions for completely free on my Instagram. I'm not gonna charge you for you to ask me questions. I'm gonna answer with a voice memo or a text. Also, for those of you that are short on money and want to learn more about Airbnb, they want to learn the basics, a whole bunch of shit I just covered and more, only $20. I have it linked in the description on my WAP. This covers Rental Arbitrage 101. It's basically a big ass course. It's meant so every single person can afford it. Every single person can benefit from it, no matter where you come from, no matter how much money you have. $20 is nothing to me. It's more to benefit you as a person, as a student, and help you learn income-driven tasks, help you learn high-income skills. So if you want that, that's also going to be in the link in bio. Follow my Instagram, sub to the page, comment what you want to see from me. And I'm sorry I ramble. I'm very passionate. You guys know I'm passionate about my work. I appreciate you if you stayed far enough into this video right now. Stay swole, go to the gym, be great, pray to God.